Hello world, this is Zan. Actually, this is going to be the first recording I do for this series that started in the Blitz, and then there's a few turns I have to go and review. But we're going to go hop into turn 40 as I eagerly await for my Pretender God to show up. Okay, so we get our water gems because as soon as my god does show up, we're going to cast the Advice. We get some monster toads because I honestly I forgot that they existed. Such a good Miquelin player, right? The Blitz was so fast I couldn't really go check through my spell list. So now that I've had some time, I realize Monster Toads are actually pretty cool. They're sacred and they have like a poison aura around them. Let me just go pull one up. They're sacred. They have a lot of hit points. They have low magic resistance, which sucks, but otherwise they trample. Um, and they have this like poison cloud around them, which will be really cool. And my entire army is going to be a bunch of sacreds that have poison resistance. And poison is skin, so when they do get hit, more poison. But yeah, it's pretty much a big size 5 trampler. Fascia does have a lot of astral magic that they can do Enslave Mine or Soul Slay on, and these will be like magnets for that, which, that'll suck, because these guys dying will lead me to HP route very fast if I make too many. So I do need to make sure I script anti-magic, just for that. And in general, I need it because my magic resistance is hot garbage. I mean, I say all that, but honestly, I think the fights with Fascia are going to be decided before round 10 of combat. It's they're going to need to bring a Staff of Storms essentially, because I'm going to have my guys on turn 1 attack something, and so they're going to land before buffs, before anything goes out, which sucks a little bit. They're going to get murdered by the Fascian Javelin Toss because these guys have really accurate and powerful javelin tosses, which is the epic weakness of my Eagle Warriors. I wish I had taken the Throne of Air, which is this one. I wish I had the Throne of Air to give me Air Shield on my Blessing. That would have been pretty darn good. I didn't even build a temple here. I'm a fool. As I flew my guys out to greener pastures. I'll be back, very likely, but you know what? I'm going to sacrifice one. I should have built a temple there. I'm foolish. I'm going to sacrifice one to go rebuild the temple. Okay. To that end, move this guy back, and let's go back to our messages. So a bunch of monster toads. Arrow hitting here in Cliffport. These guys have a lot of hit points, so one arrow shouldn't kill them. And I've inundated it with a few scouts, so I'm going to do a few more. Let me see. We cast Gateway, so we bring another 150 eagles up to Smotherdark, because this is also a theater of war with Fascia, and if I wouldn't cast the Advice, he can get this army here in Faircliff and check all these provinces, just by basis of having this lake here, because sailing, which is essentially one turn of sail into the lake and then move into any of the provinces the lake touches. So he doesn't need to actually make this direct river crossing. Sailing is great. I found a magic site in Monherba, which is assuming these gem deposits. Yeah, they weren't there before, which is nice. This is such a great province of all these magic sites, and I didn't know until now. Oh, sweet. I got my god. Okay, so this is Gripple with Makeup, everyone. I don't think I showed him before in like the Pretender design. Here it is. Gripple with Makeup. What spells can he cast? He can cast whatever he feels like casting. He would make an excellent super combatant if I needed to like take this throne, I could dive him into the water, Cloud Trapeze him in, and do some shenanigans. And maybe that'll have to happen later. We'll see, because right now I really need him to cast Sea of Ice. And it needs to be something of a beefy overcast. I'm not putting all my water gems because there are other things I need to do with my water gems, like summon a Naiad. But it needs to be a beefy cast because Fascia and Ys are likely to work together to turn it off, because it's going to prevent Ys from naturally walking out of the lake, and it's going to prevent Fascia from sailing. I think preventing Fascia from sailing is much more significant. It's going to force him to play with my mobility, my levels of mobility. Because Ys, the mods in this game, their god is going to be a Titan, and that Titan can just go ahead and grab all the Morvarks and gateway to one of these castles. Now, the moment Naba says he's going to continue his war against Ys, the moment Naba um, takes all the coastal forts, now Ys cannot gateway out of it. So it'll be pretty significant. It'll be pretty significant blow then. Until then, it's just kind of like a tax, a Morvark tax, where he's going to have to pay 10 Astral Pearls to move his Morvarks out. I think this guy needs to fly in over here. Okay, cool. I can't remember what you guys are doing. Here we're making a sage. After that, I need to go back to Crystal Sorceresses. I made the sage because I wanted more research, because apparently I'm the worst research in the game right now. But I wanted to start making sages because I wanted more research, but you know what? I actually need the Crystal Sorceresses to do a Fog Warriors Communion. That will help me a lot against Facia. Now, that said, all my messages are done, right? Yep, we failed another assassination. These stalkers are worth putting gems on, investing in. They're really darn good. They have scale walls. I just really haven't, because I've been needing the water gems to prepare for the Sea of Ice. And my nature gems, yeah, I guess I can start making them Bindmen, but I think I'm going to start needing the nature gems too. I'm not sure yet. Anyways, we made a bunch of scouts, and they're all going to go places. Because I have no intel, and I should have done this some time ago. But, Blitz problems. Scouts to go places. Oh, there's Krippus God. Okay, this person site search. Okay. I guess I want to site search up here, and I already did. Scout go somewhere. Really doesn't matter. I don't even know what to do with this Earth Gnome. Maybe he can patrol later. He can grab some slaves and patrol when I start bloodhunting things. Okay, drop this. We don't need him doing that anymore, but we will need to keep him on the province. Okay, let's see what else. Actually, that is a good thing for my stalkers. Go sit on the throne itself. Okay, now I can get my dude person, my prophet, and he can move out and just do this simple move. And I'm actually going to split these up into 3 groups. And you're going to be an attack rear, you're going to be attack closest, and you're going to be attack archers. Okay, cool. Easy. He can stay there. We're going to pull him back to over here. He can assassinate a Morvark person if he wanted to, but it's worth a try. Let me double check. I do have poison resistance 10. Okay, good. The fight should be quick, but I'm still going to cast Fall Vapors because that really, Facia really doesn't like Fall Vapors. One thing I didn't craft, and I guess I should have. Oops. Ah, crud. Do I have a hammer somewhere? I guess those are my only 2 hammers, huh? That's fine. One thing I should have crafted is one of these, a cornucopia, both for, well, I guess I won't need supply because most of my army is going to be Nahualis, but for foul vapors, so I can just keep foul vaporing things. So actually, I'm going to keep, you guys aren't exploring, you're going to be full of gems. Okay, you're going to do gem things. And I think the move on this map, if I remember correctly, was I'm going to send some army to Ionia. And my largest army, the main contingent of my army, will go to Terrace Peaks. Because I'm confident that my army can one-shot or one-turn crack these forts. And what I'm hoping ends up happening this turn is I'm going to take Omor. And I don't think I'm going to advance any further than Omor. Or more, or whatever it is. And then I'm going to have the main army here in Terrace Peaks. I'm going to have some army here in Ionia. His army is going to attempt to sail. I'm assuming he's going to try to sail down to fight Grippa because he doesn't know we're at war yet. Which sucks because I'm going to cancel that move because Sea of Ice is going to occur before his sailing. I know this from experience. Happened to me as Marignon. So this army If he is telling it to sail somewhere, they will not move. If if he tells them to go to like Green Coast and they can reach there by walking, I think they'll still walk. But because this is a wasteland, I don't know if they'll actually do that. But regardless, my hope is he's trying to sell somewhere and that just gets canceled, which puts my army here in Terrace Peak. This army, I'm assuming, is also going to try to sail, which means I'm going to meet them in the Underdark. Either or, this is kind of a check position because if this army does not move out, then I can take Nicaea. If it does move out, then I can still take Underdark because it will take them 2 turns. 1 turn to Pestena, 1 turn to Deep Forest, and then the 3rd turn they'll get to Underdark. Whereas if they're not moving in my direction, the same turn they get to Pestena is the same turn I crack the fort at Underdark, which means when they get to the Deep Forest, I storm the fort at Underdark. And if I have access to the lab there, I can always bring in more eagles. One thing I need to start doing again is bringing in all the eagle warriors I recruit into my capital. I need to have a flow of eagle warriors back into my capital. How else I need to start researching? Jeez. I guess maybe I can just get the Mexican priests. Maybe like astral randoms could do stuff. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Go back. You can recruit Nafwali since you're closer to the front. I mean, technically they all could, but make sure our random units. I wish I could start recruiting these, but I need a fort. I need forts on these 2 provinces, really. I'm able to recruit so much with my upkeep that it's hard to save up money for things. But if I take this region from Vatia, including their capital, that will solve a lot of problems, a lot of monetary problems, because they do have growth. So all this stuff has been growing, and this is likely a nice little city. And if I do break their forces up here, I could always Cloud Trapeze my god into his lake and just 1 by 1 take the lake. That's a really big waste of my god's time, and I wish I can recruit like thug chassis, but we'll see what happens when I get there. I know there's one summon I can do. This one, the Tlaloque, but they're only size 3, so it'd be weird. At that point, you just get a Sea King's Court. You just get one of those guys and you send them into the water. But I guess with Sea of Ice they can't. So yeah, maybe it will have to be someone that can magic phase, and then I can start taking all this crap. We'll see how that works. For now, I'm going to go pause the video. I'm going to script this army, and I'm going to make their movements into Terrace Peaks and Ionia, and then I will be back. Alrighty, folks. Went into the scripting, made a few changes. So part of those changes is I'm actually purposefully recruiting Mycoloth priests in some of my territories to augment my fire and water magic. It's going to be very gem expensive, which honestly I really can't afford. But if it comes down to me relying on them, then at that point, even alchemizing is viable because that means everything's gone wrong. Astral, an S1 mage is always going to be good regardless. And the nature ones, I guess I can cast Swarm. I mean, I do have Mother Oak, so that's fine. But mainly I'm doing it because I need some more fire and water randoms so that I can cast Quickness. Although Quickening would be better, and that could be better achieved with a water bracelet, which I now do have some pretty decent access to. So if I have a Water 1 mage, I have no reason not to give it a water bracelet and make it a Water 2 mage, which then can cast Quickening. And Quickening will be very powerful, to say the least, on my very killy Eagle Warriors. Now, for the rest of it, and let me make sure that I bring these Jaguar Toads. Or I guess I'll bring them in the next wave. For the rest of what's happening is I'm moving just what should be a small force, but I guess it's still 90 Eagle Warriors. They're going to go to Ionia, and the major force is coming as promised to Terrace Peaks, which will be a bunch of turkeys. With one of them has to be in Huali form, he's going to cast Mass Protection. Actually, after doing that, he should probably do like Personal Luck in case they don't hit him. Elemental Fortitude. Don't die. The spell he needs to cast is Don't Die. But something like this is really useful later. I don't really even need him to be using that Thistle Mace. I can make, I guess, a Baby Communion and then do Mass Protection based on that. And I think that's probably safer. Yeah, let me hide that Thistle Mace. Let me make you 2 Communion Slaves. Boom, boom. Because I'll need the Thistle Mace later, and it's, it's expensive, and I don't need to use it to do that. There, problem solved. Thistle Mace recreated with 2 turkeys. I haven't really positioned everyone on the field yet, because I don't think it's going to matter for Terrace Peaks. I might be wrong. He might like foresee what I'm doing, but for now, the lazier this looks, the better. And so we're going to do 2 rounds of buffing, which actually, if I remember correctly, based on what Sai told me during the stream, I should do 3 rounds of buffing. Cool. 3 rounds of buffing. Because when in the stream he mentioned, oh no, that's why I'm not using a communion, is because I'm doing a Fog Warriors communion. I don't want to blow it up. Yeah, I don't want to dilute the communion with nature magic. That would be bad. Don't do that. The more he sleeps, the better. I don't really know what you can cast. So I'm actually not even going to use these boots. I need this down here. Okay, cool. So back to the beginning, we're doing Mass Protection. We're going to Body Ethereal, Luck, because the Eagle Warriors, when they take flight, they're still considered in their previous square, so they will take buffs. And Luck is just, maybe double Body Ethereal might be better, but Luck's to make sure nobody dies. Debatable, which is better, I guess. They're both a 1 and 4, but I guess Body Ethereal, they can get afflictions. I have this gentleman doing Legions of Steel, this other one doing Strength of Giants. I should make sure that the spy I have moving in, this guy, brings, I'm not using too many pearls, brings some earth gems, because technically these guys can also cast Marble Warriors, and Marble Warriors would be kind of good because Facia has a lot of fire magic. They have water magic too, but they have a lot of fire magic that they can bring to bear. And I think the first assumption will be I'm going to cast Mass Protection, and that makes me susceptible to fire. Don't want that. So maybe here I'll run in, do Mass Protection, and maybe in the next fight I'll switch these guys from Legions of Steel to Marble Warriors. Whatever. If he sees that coming and does Grip of Winter, I lose. Easy. No questions asked. I have no frost resistance. But the fight should be quick. And I can even cast things like Iron Bane. Iron Bane is something that you'll never cast, but all my dudes are in loincloth and furs. Like, they don't care. So maybe even Iron Bane will work. The problem in Spacious case is he's also using linen cuirasses, which are not made of iron. But if he were to try to fight me with these guys, which is the wrong choice, do not try to fight me with these guys. They'll all die. The plate cuirass is not worth it. But that plate cuirass would be rusted. I don't know if these guys, because isn't their stuff magical? Yeah, it is. So yeah, never mind. Iron Bane against a normal nation would be useful. But yeah, that's mostly the script. It's just buff up all the eagles, and the eagles are going to go to the back and hit things really hard. And this first fight, I'm doing double Legion of Steel instead of, or Legion of Steel instead of double Strength of Giants, just because. Maybe I should send another one of these mages. I don't have boots for him, so maybe he should do Earth Power, Strength of Giants, and then Iron Skin. Yeah, that might be better. That'll feel cooler. Cool. And that'll be most of the turn. Last I looked, Facia was also working on this, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the main excitement, I guess, this turn is going to be that my god is up and he has things to be doing. So this turn he's going to cast Sea of Ice. And my research wasn't ready for him. Outside of Sea of Ice, I want him to also cast Wrath of God. And because my Dominion in certain locations will be very, very high, and it does have Turmoil. So as it spreads over things, it will be dangerous, and it'll be dangerous to attack into me. Whereas, if you notice, like Facia's Dominions, 3 candles almost everywhere. That's pretty rough. And if I were to take more of his provinces, and maybe even if I tried building more temples, that's probably my weakness, is I have a lot of territory, but I don't have a lot of temples laying about, and maybe I should, just to like get my Dom push even more absurd. Although my god coming up is now 3 additional temples, which helps. The other things I want him to do is so I want him to cast Wrath of God, and I want him, once that's done, or maybe even before I cast Wrath of God, I need to go up Blood Magic, and I need him to summon Oniki, because I need to not break into Blood. I mean, I'm in Blood. I have mages that can do Blood things. Is I need the research to do Blood things, and now at Blood 7, I can do Curse of Blood to get vampires instead of Oniki. But Oniki are better blood hunters. They have the blood searching trait, although they make unrest, so they kill more people while blood hunting. But they are better blood hunters. And more importantly, summoning one gets me 8 beast bats. Beast bats are sacred. So just the fact that I'm summoning him already gets me beast bats, but they also Dom summon beast bats. And I am Dom 10. So it's just gonna me bringing out Oniki as soon as possible just gets me more sacred faster. And I know here it looks weird because I'm talking about all these things that I need, and I'm still going up enchantment. I need stuff in every level of enchantment, all 3 of these. In enchantment 4, I need anti-magic. In enchantment 5, I need fell vapors. In enchantment 6, I need arrow fend, because up here I'm casting fog warriors to stop javelins. Otherwise, I wouldn't cast this. It's difficult for me to cast. It's expensive for me to cast. Um, I'm literally doing it to stop javelins, which is much more obviously done by Aerofend, cheaper. Any one of my cap only Air 2 dudes with 2 air gems can cast Aerofend, rather than needing to do a communion and so on and so forth. You can argue, okay, it's 1 gem difference between casting Fog Warriors, but casting Fog Warriors also requires me to have these 4 chicks in a communion. And should I lose a fight, should they die, should something happen, they are difficult to replace because I can't afford to be building a temple down here. Especially, Facia might just get these War Shamblers, and or he can't because Sea of Ice, so never mind. It's difficult. That'll, I guess that'll be my turn. So I'll try. I know I've hit another rump in recording some of my series live. I know this and End World have suffered. Um, so I'll try to be more consistent. It is difficult. But yeah, see you guys next time on turn 41.